Good morning. I will show you some things we have done to improve our home. Hung the mirror over that. You see they go well together. I'm kind of depressed today, people. Not because of the move. I'm just really anxious. I guess depressed isn't the right word, but I'm really anxious. I'm very scared about kids' doctor's appointment. Hung that mirror over that dresser. Sorry about the crap on top, but I'm working on it. Put the little matching decal that you will notice goes with the ones that I have put around the room. Those are so cute. Again, available at Michael's. About $3 a decal, vinyl, removable. They are not adjustable, so I'm just going to make that clear. Hung up pictures in this room. Oh, jeez. Putty, stop. Ready? You saw that over there, but you didn't see all the other pictures that we hung up. And that I got these blinds, bamboo Roman shades. People, you will see they're the exact same color. Got those going on. Got those at Kmart for, I'm pretty sure, $20 a blind. It depends on the height of your blind. They're great. That Essential Home line, if you've never gone to Kmart or you don't go there frequently, I don't go there frequently, but I have a lot of things from the Essential Home, not the Martha line, the Essential Home line. Badass. Usually actually nicer in a funny way. Martha if you're going for the cookware, but Essential Home, people, if you want tablecloths or curtains, things like that. Totally nice. Also, do I seem weird? I feel weird. Here's why. Baby was up between midnight and 4:30 a.m. Not up, crying in her bed, awake like a crazy maniac. Ran out of the room, went to the living room, turned on the TV, started playing with crazy toys really loudly, like beeping horns and crashing all the puzzles off of things. I mean, it was awful. I checked everything to see if there was something that was keeping her awake now. She's just, I feel like I can remember this occasionally happening with kid. It must be some kind of growth spurt thing or something, but of all the days when I needed to have been well rested so that I can be thinking clearly and process what's going to happen at this doctor's appointment, I had 4 hours of sleep. Awful. I feel awful. I'm sure I'm going to look like a weird meth addict when I get there. Okay, on to the kid issue. Here's the deal, for people who don't know. Kid's got epilepsy. That's one whole thing in and of itself. But she has been on medication that has kept her seizure free, in theory. It's very complicated. Epilepsy is not straightforward, so it is complicated. Oh my God. Hello? No, I'm sorry. This is not her phone anymore. Okay, bye. Real life, sorry about that. My cell phone gets all these crazy calls for Sherry. Sherry seems to be in a bit of trouble. Got some weird court date calls and stuff like that, and Sherry couldn't afford to keep her cell phone anymore, or she ditched it. Alrighty. Anyway, kid's on medicine, right? She hasn't had any seizures. That's great news. It's gotten to the point where it's kind of just normal and I don't fear every day that she's going to have a seizure. Well, here's what you don't ever know with epilepsy. Well, with kids in particular. Because she didn't have seizures every day, she had infrequent seizures, but hers were more intense and life-threatening. We don't know if maybe she wouldn't have had one in this 2 years anyway, and that the medicine isn't doing anything, right? There's that. The other thing is, you don't know if she is having, would be having them, and the medicine's working and keeping it from keeping her from seizing. So, really, you don't know. This is why, after 2 years, if they've remained seizure-free, they wean them off the medicine. The weaning process of the medicine makes their brains more vulnerable to seizing, because you're changing the chemical balance in them. So, during the weaning process, which will be slow and probably go over several months, or it should, we'll see what he says, and then the 6 months after weaning, she is most likely to have a seizure. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being on call all the time and being totally stressed out and a total maniac. It's one of the reasons you may recall that I wanted to homeschool her, because this year was the year that this was going to happen. Okay, let's say she makes it and she doesn't have a seizure in this period of time. The stress is not over, people, because she could have a seizure at any time, at any place, for the rest of her life. That's what sucks. So, in a weird way, if she, just for like sanity's sake, in a weird way, not that I hope that this happens, if she were to have a seizure immediately upon weaning, she would go right back on the medicine. Then you would know, hey, the medicine was working, because without it she is seizing. You'd go back on the medicine, and then we could go back to being like, oh, this is being managed and taken care of. If she doesn't have one, you have no way to know if she was never going to have one anyway, and like everything, was unnecessary. If she might have one in 3 days, and it's not, and it isn't, and it wasn't working. I mean, you just don't know. So, it's going to be a time of uncertainty and a time of pretty extreme stress, let's be real. I mean, it can make me want to vomit. I mean, it's that stressful, obviously. If you read the story, it's really stressful when it happens, and I don't wish it upon anyone. Very difficult. And we have been blessed with the fact that she has done well on this medicine, so, she doesn't have any serious side effects. Some of the medicines do have those, and so, I am nervous. I am nervous to wean her off. I'm nervous to go back to being stressed all the time and not being able to sleep because I'm listening to her, or, all that kind of thing. So that's the update, people. What's funny is before we moved here, I agreed to it because there's like this Mission Children's Hospital. It's not a hospital. I got here and found out it's an outpatient clinic. It's not an actual hospital. There's no children's hospital. So that's pretty stressful to me, because if something goes wrong, there's a big difference between going to an ER staffed with, regular doctors, and going to a pediatric ER staffed with all pediatric specialists. Big, big difference. That is going to be a hard pill for me to swallow. So let's hope this goes well. All right. Hot coffee, people. It's fall. Check, check.